Welcome to DU Digimon.
Hello and welcome to DU Digimon and welcome to another deck profile. If you like this sort of video, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and ding that notification bell so you're not missing out on any of the latest content. My boy BlackWarGreymon is back and with a vengeance. It's been some time since we've had some specifically BlackWarGreymon support. The last time we had a BlackWarGreymon technically was BT11 BlackWarGreymon X, but before that, just a vanilla BlackWarGreymon was BT8. My favourite Digimon has not been seen in such a long time, and it's finally back with some decent support to go along with it as well. So let's go to the card by card. Starting off with the 4 Koromon from EX10. This is an awesome card. All turns when attack targets change, draw 1. So if you're raiding or you're blocking, you can get your draw off of that. So that's really nice to help us with our general consistency. Then we've got 4 of the new Agumon from EX10. Start with your main phase. You may return 1 virus trait Digimon card with Greymon's name from your trash to the hand. And also has that all turns effect to give you 1000 DP as the inheritable. We've then got 3 copies of the Agumon X from BT11. This one, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Greymon or X Antibody in its name, and 1 black Tamer card among them to your hand. Place the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order, so it just helps us with finding our Greymons, finding our names, and any of our black Tamers. Then also has the alternate effect, when this Digimon Greymon or Omnimon's name would be deleted or returned to your hand or deck by an effect, by placing 1 X Antibody from this Digimon's Digivolution cards at the bottom of its owner's deck, prevents this Digimon from leaving play. So, really, really good. And then we've got 4 of the BT12 Agumon, just because it's still our best searcher. Revealing 4 to add a Greymon or Omnimon in its name, 1 Tamer card with Tai in its name, among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in order. So it will whiff on one of our Tamers, but I wanted to try and kind of prioritize the ties if I could, because of some little micro strategies we've got going on. Then going into our Greymons, we've got 2 copies of the BT9 Greymon, just to give us a little bit of protection. I'm kind of tempted to bump this up to 3, because I never feel comfortable with it being at 2. But it's there at 2 at the moment, and that's been working fine for me. We've got 3 of the new Greymon from EX10. It has Rain, and on play when digivolving 1 Digimon, any Digimon on the field gets 3000 DP to your opponent's turn end. Why is that important? We'll get into that. Then alternate effect, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Then we've also got 3 copies of the Adventure Greymon from the Structure deck. No, it's not from the Structure deck, it's from BT21. Beg your pardon, I get that confused. On play when Digivolving, you have Tai Kamiya or a Tamer with Adventure trait. Give 1 of your opponent's Digimon start of your main phase. This Digimon attacks until their turn ends. We have other ways of forcing them to attack at the start of main, but this is the cheapest possible way if we need to just hard slam it down. You could also play stuff like Lapis' Demon. I was considering that, but this just having a Greymon name to do it is pretty good. Also has Reboot as the inheritable, which isn't really important when we get to our level 6 slots, but is pretty good for our level 7 as well as for our level 5s. Then we've got the 1 copy of Greymon X, of course, from BT11. It will never come off the ban list. It's just not going to happen, especially with more and more red-black Greymons coming out in the level 5 slot. When this Digimon would digivolve into a card with Greymon its name, reduce the cost by 1 for each of that card's colours, so it makes our level 5s incredibly cheap to go into. And then it's got the same protection effect as the Agumon X in terms of the inheritance. Then we've also got 1 copy of the Greymon BT12. This is just to help us play out our ties, really. I've got it in at 1 because it is a vaccine. We can't get it from trash anyway. But I have been tempted to drop it for an additional copy of Greymon X. Then going into the level 5s, MetalGreymon from EX10. This is actually my favourite bit of support from EX10, even including the BlackWarGreymon. I love this card. It's so good. Has Reboot, which is the least exciting thing about it. But on play when digivolving, give 1 of your opponent's Digimon collision, and starting your main phase, this Digimon attacks until their turn ends. So it just forces them to attack, sets up our ace plays, whether that be the BlackWarGreymon, or if we decided to go something like the Adventure WarGreymon or something like that, forces them to attack in. And then on top of that, opponent's turn inheritable effect. When attack targets changes, this Digimon has Greymon in its name, trash your opponent's top security card. That's so good. It doesn't obviously count Omnimon as well, so when we go into our level 7, that's a bit of a bummer. But the fact that it does that for all of our Greymons, like any Greymon, is really nice. Obviously, it is opponent's turn, so raiding doesn't count, but most of the time we are being defensive and blocking anyway. Then we've got 4 copies of the MetalGreymon X from BT11. So when digivolving to the end of your opponent's turn, this Digimon can't have its DP reduced by opponent's effects and isn't affected by the Digivolve effects. Then, if MetalGreymon or Antibody is in this Digimon's distribution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. The opponent's turn inheritable. When a Digimon becomes unsuspended, that's any Digimon on the board, doesn't have to be your own. If this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So this, coupled with this, means we're pretty much guaranteeing we're going to trash two things, in a turn, which is really good. Then going into the BlackWarGreymon Ace, Raid, Reboot, and Blocker. It has the most keywords I've ever seen on a Greymon card. On play, when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's play cost 7 or lower Digimon or Tamers. So it does only delete one thing, but 7 tends to be the Ace kind of cost for a lot of level 6s, so that's pretty useful. And then Tamers are getting more and more expensive. A lot of the really kind of key Tamers in certain decks, like Nokia, for example, are 5 play cost. So having that additional ante on there, it is a shame that it's not up to 7 play cost. Like the BT8 one was, that was up to 6 play cost. But is what it is. 7 or lower is not bad. But then the really kind of spicy thing about this card is all turns, while your opponent has a Digimon 13,000 DP or more, your opponent's Digimon effect don't affect this Digimon, and it gets 3,000 DP. So that's where this Greymon comes in. We give them 3,000 DP to ensure we have that all turns effect live. It's really cool. And against certain decks, as I discovered the other day in testing, I went up against Dan's kind of green good stuff list. The majority of his level 6s were 13k or more inherently. So the moment he put any of them on the board, I was just immune to what he had going on. It was really, really funny. For me. Not for him, but for me. Yeah, I think this is a really good ace. And quite possibly the best Greymon ace we've had. Even including the Digimon effect community from the Adventure Greymon. It's really good. Then we've got 3 copies of the promo Gaiomon. I didn't go with BlackWarGreymon X. I like that stuff, but I think we want to be quicker. And in terms of speed, there are very few cards with what we've got available to us that are going to be helping us as much as this guy. So when Digivolving until your opponent's turn ends, one of your opponent's Digimon gains starting main phase, this Digimon attacks. So it's another way of forcing them to attack if you've not managed to go into this guy, or if you've had to go into this guy in the raising. Then all turns effect, when attack targets change, trash your opponent's top security cards. So that's obviously all turns. So if we get blocked, it trashes the top. If we do the blocking, that trashes the top. But this guy, with MetalGreymon X and MetalGreymon underneath him, so we force him to attack at the start of main. First of all, we attack with this guy on our turn because of the kind of second part of that when Digivolving effects. That's 1 check. Then we reboot, trashing with MetalGreymon X. Then they attack in. We block, trashing with this, trashing with that. That's 4. That is 4 overall threats. 1 actual swing and 3 trashes. It's just really cool. It's a really cool combo. And really helps to speed things up with this deck. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Then we've also got the Omnimon X, just to help us with kind of, finishing the game off. It's got Raid, Piercing, Blocker. We can give it Reboot with our BT21 Greymon. On play, when Digivolving, if Omnimon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, choose one of both players' Digimon and delete all of the Digimon. Then return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So what's kind of cool with that deletion effect is if we've got another body on board and it's got Greymon X underneath it, we can actually protect from that effect, which is quite funny. And then end of your turn, the really kind of important thing about Omnimon X, of course, is one of your Digimon may gain Rush for the turn and attack without suspending. So we can swing in with our Gaiomon for our final check after we've trashed 4 of their stuff, go into Omnimon X and then just swing the game, which is really nice. Then going into our Tamers, we've got 2 copies of the Yuuko from BT22. Start with main phase of your opponent as a Digimon gain 1 memory. When attack targets change by suspending this Tamer for the turn, your opponent's Digimon effects don't affect one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name or the CS trait, and it gets 3,000 DP. When attack targets change, all turns inheritable. If this Digimon has E3, one of your Digimon gets 3,000 DP for the turn. You could maybe tech that in. I don't see it happening. But that, when the attack target changes, gain 3,000 DP and be unaffected by Digimon effects for the first turn, I think that's great. Then we've got 3 copies of the Tai from BT12. This one just helps us with gaining memory when we go into our Greymons and Omnimons, as well as giving 1,000 DP and blocker to our Agumons and Greymons. Now, all of our level 6s and level 7s have blocker, but the 1,000 DP can come in handy with helping this be a bigger blocker, for example, and this be a bigger blocker, for example. So, not bad. Then we've got the Tai Kamiya from ST15. If you have 2 or fewer memories, set it to 3, since this is our memory setter. And All turns when attack target is switched by suspending this Tamer, draw 1, and one of your Digimon gets 2000 DP until the end of the turn. So again, making yourselves bigger and also helping us with consistency. Then we've got the 2 copies of Garnet Memory Boost, revealing the top 3 cards in the deck and adding 1 red or black Digimon card among them to the hand. Return the rest of the bottom of the deck, then this places the card in the battle area. And the main delay, gain 2 memory. So it just helps us with our consistency and our memory gain. Then we've got 2 copies of Hades Force. Back, baby! The Tamer killing monster slayer badass boy is back. When you redeem this card, if you have a Digimon Vex Antibody in this distribution cards in play, reduce the cost by 2. And the main effect, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon and or Tamers whose combined play costs are less than or equal to the play cost of one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name, and delete all of the other chosen cards. Then one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name may attack a player. Now the one issue with this, of course, is that this is 7 play cost, so it will take the 7 play cost out there. But if we use with Gaiomon on the field, that's 13. Greymon X 8, so it's still not bad. Security effect is also great, deleting one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. And the fact is, we're killing Tamers. We want to kill Tamers. You know, that's something you inherently want to do. Then we've got X Antibody Proto form, of course, which is also a fantastic card. One of the Digimon with X Antibody distribution cards may Digivolve into a Digimon card with X Antibody trait in your hand, with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. If it did, place this card as its bottom Digivolution card. Then all turns, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, other than by one of your effects, from this Digimon Digivolution cards, return 1 Digimon card to the hand and place 1 X Antibody on top of your security stack. So this helps us going cheaper into stuff like our Greymon X's, our MetalGreymon X, Gaiomon as well. So just a really good all-round card for the strategy. Now there are certain things you could also play in this. So I was looking at the ST15 Greymon and the ST15 Agumon, for example. They could be really good because of the fact they give you memory when attack target is switched. And honestly, I've been thinking about testing those. Maybe getting shots of this Greymon here and going for 3 copies of this. And maybe getting rid of the Agumon X for this. But then we wouldn't have a way of searching Yuuko, so I don't really like that. You could also cut down on the ties, potentially go up to more Yuukos and stuff like that. So definitely still something I'm playing around with the ratios really, but this is what I'm happy with at the moment. And let me know if you guys are happy with it as well. Invariably, no one is ever fully happy with any deck list, and you know what? I want to hear that as well. So let me know if you're not happy with this deck list. Anyways, like, subscribe, and ding that notification bell, and we'll see you again on the next video, whatever that may be. But until then, keep it digital.